All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 4 of Who with Noel. We got all three of us on here today. So me, aka Blake, and then Vish and Noel. And we're doing one of these challenges from Twitter. It's the Build Team $15. So basically, the rules are you have the opportunity to only pick 2 at maximum from each era. And then all these players are at their peak. It's the rules of today's NBA. No position restriction. So if I want to put like Chris Paul at point guard, or if I want to put him at center, I can do that. And then you can only pick the players shown below. And the way we're going to do it is it's going to be a snake draft. So Vish is going to be going first. Or sorry. Nolan will be with the first pick, then Vish, then I'll go back to back, then Vish, then Nolan, in that order. So it's a snake. We're doing a 45-second timer, and then with your first pick, everyone's going to say, what their arena is, their team logo, who their coach is going to be, and all that stuff. So with the first pick, Nolan, you're on the clock. You have 45 seconds. Go.
All right, I already know I'm picking, so I'll explain what team I am. I'm going to be up in the 6, Toronto, at the Scotiabank Arena, coached by Nick Nurse. Phenomenal coach all around. And as my first pick, I'm taking one of the 3 GOAT candidates, the GOAT, MJ, Michael, Jeffrey, Jordan. He's on my team, and he's a legend. Anyone who doesn't think he's a legend, go watch The Last Dance. That's all I'm going to say. Welcome to the team.
Yeah. All right, so the first pick's in. Michael Jordan, GOAT candidate.
$7.
Our GOAT right there.
It's expensive.
$7. Very expensive, but there's a reason for that. Vish, you're on the clock. You can say your team logo. The first round's untimed.
All right. Everybody knows where I'm going for my team logo. Got to represent Detroit basketball. All right. I'm going to have the Pistons logo, and my coach is going to be Pat Riley. We're going to play a physical style of basketball that represents the Midwest ethos, to quote Colin Cowherd, that the blue-collar city of Detroit brings. And with my first pick, I went back and forth. I was thinking Kobe. It was really between Kobe, the guy I'm about to take, and then there was a part of me that was thinking, hey, a little cheaper, maybe build a team and go Kevin Durant, and then maybe my favorite player of all time, Chauncey Billups. I ultimately landed at the modern GOAT, LeBron James. He should be a Piston. We unfortunately got Darko. We'll get him now.
Okay. So Vish goes with LeBron. Nolan has MJ. So I'm up. So my team, I'm gonna be the New York Knicks. Mainly because my main man Stephen A. Smith. I want to see him happy with the team I've built. So I'm gonna be in the Madison Square Garden. Spike Lee's getting front row to every game, no questions asked. Tom Thibodeau's the coach, Bulls legend. He's gonna, all these starters are playing at least 40 minutes a game. That's his style of basketball, and that's what I like. So with my first pick, he's going to be a cheap player, actually, and it's going to be $2 Gary Payton as my point guard. So I'm going Gary Payton at point guard. I think he's honestly very underrated for his price. The glove is his name. Can lock down nearly any other point guard, so I'm going with him at number 2.
I do want to mention one thing about LeBron. LeBron will be playing point guard for me. I just wanted to mention that.
Okay. I mean, Glove's going to guard him. That's not a worry on. Not worried about that at all. And so I'm up again, and I'm going to go with the guy who is pretty underrated on this. He's a $2 player again. He's from the modern era, though. And that's going to be Brandon Roy. So he's $2. His injury was cut short his career was cut short because of injuries. All around insanely good player, really good at his peak, contested with some of the greats. So that's my other pick. And now it's going back to Vish.
So right now you have Brandon Roy and you have Gary Payton, and you've spent $4. Now I've spent half my budget basically. I've spent $7 of my $15. I got to get some value here. And I'm going to get the guy, maybe the only guy in NBA history that can fit on any team in any era, anytime, anywhere. And I'm going to take for $3 one of the best two-way players in the NBA, the second greatest shooter of all time, debatably, Klay Thompson.
Okay. Interesting.
All right, Noel, you're up.
All right. So I'm in the same boat, Vicious. I spent a good amount of my budget on the first one, going with MJ. So I'm going with a value play here. I'm going with the guy who just should be more money. I don't understand why it's at this value. I'm going in the modern era, and I'm picking the gentle giant Yao Ming at 7'6". Now, all the other players who have ever played at this height look very unlucky and unathletic. We got guys like Taco Fall, like Boban, a lot of these current guys. Yao Ming was a graceful giant. He had some injuries that cut him short, but in his prime, he could shut down Shaq, and he could also pass and assist to other guys in his team. He is truly one of the most one of the most best players and most slept on players, and I don't understand why he's $1. He's on my team. Welcome to Team Yao. But as I am also still on the clock, I'm gonna throw back in history for my next pick. We're going to the antique era, boys. We are going to it. So with this era, I look at this team. A lot of these guys would have problems translating the current NBA. However, my next pick, I think, is among the guys who would be able to translate his game. I'm going with the man, Richard Francis Dennis Barry III, a.k.a. Rick Barry. Now, Rick Barry made a lot of his game with his mid-range shot and his scoring ability. Everybody knows him for the granny shot free throw, but I really do think he's a guy. Not many people put enough respect on his name because he played in both the NBA and ABA, and he had some problems with his teams, but he really is a stud. And I would be excited to have him on my team. I know Nick Nurse up in the 6, Drizzy Drake on the sidelines. Boys, I'm excited for my team right now.
All right, I respect that. So you've spent how much on your team so far?
So far, I've spent $12. So I'm getting close. I don't have much money to spend anymore.
So I've spent $10 right here, and I'm going to get the ultimate value. I got LeBron running the point. I got Klay Thompson shooting from the wing and playing defense. I need a big man. I need a big man that can shut down Yao Ming. And guess who I'm going to get? I'm going to get for $1, 4-time Defensive Player of the Year, the finger wagger, Dikembe Mutombo. It's a pick right there. It's a great pick.
Interesting. So most of you guys have already gotten your star player. I haven't done that yet. I mean, I already know who I'm taking as my star. You guys aren't going to take him now. I'm going to just keep going my way with my cheap players. And for $1, I'm going with Chris Webber of the modern era. So he played in the early 2000s on the Kings. Very cheap. I mean, I don't know what else to say on him, really.
Should be a Hall of Famer.
Should be a Hall of Famer. He announces games. He kind of got robbed in that early 2000 series against the Lakers. I believe it was 02 or 01. Some sketchy officiating. Might have been rigged. Might have not been. Not going to go further on that. So that was my other pick. So now I still have $10 left, right? And I've used all my picks from the modern era. So that's done. Now it's time for the classic era. And I'm going to be going with the man, Scottie Pippen, at the 3. So, you know, a lot of people see him as the Batman and Robin type guy. The Robin 2 Batman with MJ. So, really good defensive wing there. And he's going to be my 3.
Interesting.
Okay.
So you spent now $10. You got 5 left. I've spent $12. 7 on LeBron, 3 on Klay Thompson. Oh, excuse me. I've spent 11 and 1 on Dikembe Mutombo. So I have $4 left, guys. And I'm going to go get the ultimate value right here. Okay. This is about to be crazy. Just wait for it. I need a guard. Okay. I need somebody who can shoot the ball next to LeBron. And I need somebody who can play defense. So right now I'm between 2 guys here, okay? I'm between 2 guys. I'm between Sidney Moncrief, who's going to bring me the defense, or I'm going to take Chris Mullin, who's going to shoot the ball for me. And I'm going to take Chris Mullin. I'm confident that Klay Thompson, LeBron can lock down on the wings and kind of take care of the guards. I got Dikembe in the front court. I'm going to take Chris Mullin, a knockdown shooter next to LeBron James.
He's got the Warriors from both eras right now.
Yeah.
Scary looking team. That's a scary looking team. I like to pick. But all right, back to the 6 we go. So I'm sitting at $12. I only got 3 more to spend. So I got the power forward and the point guard positions left in order to finish out my team. I'm going to reserve my point guard pick for my last pick because it's one of my favorite players. So we're going to the power, another one of my favorite players. And we're going to the classic era. And we're picking one of the most high-flying guys of all time, Shawn Kemp. For $2, we're picking him at. He's a stud, two-way player, dunk over anyone, talk in your face, talk smack, dunk over you, push you down. I love this guy, and I am just happy to have him on my team. But without further ado, back to the point guard position to round out my team up in the 6 with Nick Nurse. I'm picking a guy who, without some tragic injuries, would have been the most explosive player in the league, and arguably still is in the conversation. I'm picking my man D Rose on the $1 point guard. He's a stud, can blow by. We know Vish has got LeBron at his point guard. Oh yeah, LeBron's big, he's strong. He's not as quick as D Rose. If Vish's team tries to guard LeBron on D Rose, he's going right past him. He's dunking on him. It's facts. We know this. But that's my team. $15. My budget's done. So I guess to recap, I got Derrick Rose at the point. Shooting guard, we got MJ. Small forward, Rick Barry. Power forward, Shawn Kemp. And my man Yao to finish it out. That's the team for me.
So I can go anywhere here, actually. No one's got a pretty good team, but my team can play positionless. I got LeBron. I got Chris Mullin. LeBron can basically play 1 through 4. I got Dikembe. I got Klay Thompson. And I'm sitting here with $3 to spend, And I have to go to the antique era. I've taken my 2 players from the classic. I've taken my 2 players from the modern. I could take Pistol. I could take Earl the Pearl Monroe. I could take Bob Cousy. I could take David Thompson. I could take Dolph Schayes. But you know what? I'm going to stick to the positions, and I'm going to take a power forward. And I'm going to take a power forward simply because he played for the Detroit Pistons, and he was a Detroit Piston great. I'm going to take David DeBusschere and leave $1 to spare and build the best roster here with $14. Former Piston and Knick great David DeBusschere.
Interesting to say the least. That's all I got to say.
Interesting for sure. I know he's got the Detroit roots, which is very important for Vish. So I still have $5 left, and I have to go the antique era, and I need a center because I don't want Chris Webber playing there. So I'm going with the man, Wilt the Stilt Chamberlain. Obviously, his numbers are just mind-numbing. Dropped 100 points in a single game. Can do it all. Kind of tough to, really evaluate him, as many people like to, harp on him that he played against like garbage men and stuff of that nature. But the man can still play basketball. And he's going to baby Dave DeBusschere. That's all I know. DeBusschere can't guard him. And that's going to be my team. So I can wrap up my team now. So it's pretty defensive-minded for the most part. Gary Payton at the point. Brandon Roy at the 2. Scottie Pippen at the 3. Chris Webber at the 4. And then to round it off, Wilt Chamberlain at the 5. Any thoughts, guys? Like, what are you guys thinking about your teams? Did it go how you expected?
All I know is that Blake needs to hire Lawrence Frank as his coach and hire Stan Van Gundy and all those former Pistons coaches, because I hate to tell you, but his team can't shoot the basketball. And because his team can't shoot the basketball, they're going to have the Josh Smith, Greg Monroe, Andre Drummond spacing in there, and they're going to try to defend, but I'm just going to play fast with Bron, and Bron's going to throw it out to the wing. Chris Mullin, 3. Klay Thompson, 3. And Dikembe is going to be finger wagging the whole time. I think that my team would beat Blake's by 30.
Woo! That's
you
got a response, Blake? You got a response?
Yeah, as much as you think that, I know Dave DeBusschere is not guarding a single person on my team. He's 6'6" as a power forward. Stop it. Chris Webber, Wilt Chamberlain, they're going to get all they want in the paint. And I got defense to guard your threes. I'm not worried. And we haven't even talked about Nolan's team yet. Nolan, who do you think your best matchup is?
Going on your team, I think your stud is Will Chamberlain, and I got a guy who I think has 6 inches on him, if I remember correctly. Yao Ming sitting in the paint. So I look at Yao Ming shutting down Wilt, and then I don't know who's scoring. I know it ain't Scottie Pippen. I know Gary.
Brandon Roy scoring.
B. Roy, he's solid. He could do it, but guess who's guarding him, bud? MJ. MJ's guarding B. Roy. So I don't know if he's doing anything on my team, to be quite frank. The one thing I'm a little worried about, if I match up with Vish, he's got the size. But I do still think my team can rep on defense. And my team in transition, watch out. Watch out. That's all I got to say.
Please. LeBron's going to do the old 2011 on Derrick Rose. You remember that prime Heat LeBron said Derrick Rose MVP, took it, put him in, and locked him up. There's no chance here. There is no chance. I will say I'm a little worried about Michael Jordan. Blake's got no star power that worries me up there. I mean, maybe Wilt Chamberlain, but I mean, come on. As if he's going to handle 4-time Defensive Player of the Year Dikembe Mutombo.
He's going to more than handle him. He'll more than handle him. He's dropping 50 a game. Dikembe couldn't even drop 50 in 3 games. Maybe even 4.
Please. Dikembe don't need to score. The bottom line is, Nolan, you got a pretty solid team because you have Michael Jordan, but I think my team would probably beat you by 10, 15. Blake, that's a 30 ball. I think that we would have to go home after the third quarter because of the mercy rule.
Stop. You're talking reckless now. And that'll end this episode of Hoops with Noel. So we did the $15 draft. This was from Eustachio Rauli. Go check his Twitter out if you want to check the replies or the thread on that just to see what people are saying. But that'll wrap up this episode, guys.
Yeah, post in your comments down below whose team you thought was the best, especially if it was mine. Really make sure you harp onto the point that my team was the best of our 3. And tell us who you would have picked with $15 here. We'd love to see what you guys have. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, and we'll see you next time.